Jeremiah 31 to 33. This is what Yahweh says: the people who survived the sword found favor in the wilderness. Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. Yahweh appeared of old to me, saying, Yes, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore I have drawn you with loving kindness. I will build you again, and you will be built, a virgin of Israel. You will again be adorned with your tambourines. You will go out in the dances of those who make merry. Again you will plant vineyards on the mountains of Samaria. The planters will plant and will enjoy its fruit. There will be a day that the watchmen on the hills of Ephraim cry, Arise, let us go up to Zion, to Yahweh our God. For this is what Yahweh says: Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout for the chief of the nations. Publish, praise, and say, Yahweh, save your people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the uttermost parts of the earth, along with the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her who travails with child together. A great company shall return there. They will come with weeping, and I will lead them with petitions. I will cause them to walk by rivers of water, in a straight way in which they will not stumble. For I am a father to Israel. Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of Yahweh, you nations, and declare it in the distant islands, and say, He who scatters Israel will gather him, and keep him, as shepherd does his flock. For Yahweh has redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him who was stronger than he. For they come and sing in the height of Zion, and will flow to the goodness of Yahweh, to the grain, to the new wine, to the oil, and to the young of the flocks of the herds. Their soul will be as watered garden, and they will sorrow no more. Then the virgin will rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together. They will turn their mourning to joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. I will satiate the soul of the Kohanim with fatness, and my people will be satisfied with my goodness, says Yahweh. This is what Yahweh says: A voice is heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted for her children, because they are no more. This is what Yahweh says: Refrain your voice from weeping, and your eyes from tears. For your work will be rewarded, says Yahweh, and they will come again from the land of the enemy. There is hope for your latter end, says Yahweh. Your children will come again to their own territory. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus: You have chastised me, and I was chastised as an untrained calf. Turn me, and I will be turned. For you are Yahweh, my God. Surely, after that I was turned, I repented. After that I was instructed. I struck my thigh, I was ashamed, yes, even confounded, because I bore the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a darling child? For as often as I speak against him, I still earnestly remember him. Therefore my heart yearns for him. I will surely have mercy on him, says Yahweh. Set up road signs and make guideposts. Set your heart toward the highway, even the way by which you went. Turn again, Virgin of Israel. Turn again to these your cities. How long will you go here and there, you backsliding daughter? For Yahweh has created a new thing in the earth. A woman will encompass a man. This is what Adonai Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says. Yet again they will use this speech in the land of Judah and in its cities, when I reverse their captivity. Yahweh bless you, habitation of righteousness, mountain of holiness. And Judah and all its cities will dwell therein together, the farmers and those who go about the flock. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. On this I awakened and saw, and my sleep was sweet to me. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of animal. It will happen that like as I have watched over over them to pluck up and to break down and to overthrow and to destroy and to afflict, so I will watch over them to build and to plant, says Yahweh. In those days they will say no more, The fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But everyone will die in his own iniquity. Every man who eats the sour grapes, his teeth will be set on edge. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand, but to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which covenant of mine they broke, although I was a husband to them, says Yahweh. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahweh. I will put my Torah in their inward parts, and I will write it in their heart. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. They will no longer each teach his neighbor, and every man teach his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they will all know me, from their least to their greatest, says Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. This is what Yahweh says, who gives the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and the stars for a light by night, who stirs up the sea so that its waves roar. Adonai Svaot is his name. If these ordinances depart from before me, says Yahweh, then the offspring of Israel also will cease from being a nation before me forever. This is what Yahweh says. In heaven above can be measured. If heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth stretched out beneath, then I will also cast off the offspring of Israel for all they have done, says Yahweh. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that the city will be built to Yahweh from the tower of Hananel to the gate of the corner. The measuring line will go out further straight onward to the hill Gireb, and will turn toward Goah. The whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and the fields of the brook the Kidron, to the corner of the house gate toward the east, will be holy to Yahweh. It will not be plucked up or thrown down any more forever. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. Now at that time, the king of Babylon's army was besieging Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the guard, which was in the king of Judah's house. For Zedekiah king of Judah had shut him up, saying, Why do you prophesy, and say, This is what Yahweh says? Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will take it. And Zedekiah king of Judah will not escape out of the hand of Kistim, but will surely be devoured into the hand of the king of Babylon, and will speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes will see his eyes, and he will bring Zedekiah to Babylon, and he will be there until I visit him, says Yahweh. Though you fight with the Kistim, you will not prosper. Jeremiah said, The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Behold, Hanamel, the son of Shallum, your uncle, will come to you, saying, Buy my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is yours to buy it. So Hanamel, my uncle's son, came to me in the courts of the guard according to the word of Yahweh, and said to me, Please buy my field that is in Anathoth, which is in the land of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is yours, and the redemption is yours. Buy it for yourself. Then I knew that this was the word of Yahweh. And I bought the field that was in Anathoth of Hananel, my uncle's son, and weighed his money 70 shekels of silver. And I signed the deed, sealed it, called witnesses, weighed the money and the balances to him. So I took the deed of purchase, both that which was sealed, containing the terms and conditions, and that which was open, and I delivered the deed of purchase to Baruch, the son of Neri, and the son of Manasseh, in the presence of Hanamel, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses who signed the deed of the purchase, before all the Jews who sat in the court of the guard. Then I commanded Baruch before them, saying, This is what Adonai Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says. Take these deeds, this deed of purchase which is sealed, and this deed which is open, put them in the earthen vessels, that they may last many days. For this is what Adonai Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says. Behold, this is what Adonai Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says. Houses and fields and vineyards will yet again be bought in this land. After I had delivered the deed of the purchase to Baruch the son of Neriah, I prayed to Yahweh, saying, O Adonai, Yahweh, behold, you have made the heavens and the earth by your great power, and by your outstretched arm. There is nothing too hard for you. You show loving kindness to thousands, and repay the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty God, Adonai Sabaoth, is your name. Great in counsel and mighty in work, whose eyes are open to all the ways of the children of men, to give everyone according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings, who performed signs and wonders in the land of Egypt even to this day, both in Israel and among other men, and made yourself a name, as it is today, and brought your people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs, with wonders, with a strong hand, with an outstretched arm, and with great terror, and gave them this land, which you swore to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. They came in and possessed it, but they did not obey your voice, and did not walk in your Torah. They have done nothing of all that you commanded them to do. Therefore you have caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold, siege ramps have come to the city to take it. The city is given into the hand of Casdim, who fight against it. Behold, because of the sword, of the famine, and the pestilence. What you have spoken has happened. Behold, you see it. You have said to me, Adonai, Yahweh, buy the field for money, and call witnesses, whereas this city is given into the hand of Casdim. Then the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am Yahweh, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore this is what Yahweh says, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of Casdim, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and will take it. The Casdim, who fight against this city, will come and set this city on fire, and burn it with the houses, in whose roofs they have offered incense to Baal, and poured out drink offerings to other gods, to provoke me to anger. For the sons of Israel and the children of Judah have done only that which was evil in my sight, from their youth. For the sons of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, says Yahweh. For this city has been a provocation of my anger and of my wrath, from the day that they were built even to this day, so that I should remove it before my face, because of all the evil of the sons of Israel and the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger. They, their kings, their princes, their Kohanim, their prophets, the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, they have turned their backs to me, and not their faces. And though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not listened to receive instruction, but they have set their abomination in the house which is called by my name, to defile it. And they build the high places to Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire of Molech, which I did not command them, nor did it enter into my mind. And they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. Now therefore, this is what Yahweh, the God of Israel, says concerning the city about which you say, It is given into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all the countries where I have driven them in my anger and in my wrath, and in great indignation, and I will cause them again to this place, and I will bring them again to this place. I will cause them to dwell safely. Then they will be my people, and I will be their God. I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for their God and the good of the children after them, and will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from following them, to do them good. I will put my fear in their hearts, that they may not depart from me. Yes, I will rejoice over them and do good. I will plant them in this land, assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For this is what Yahweh says: just as I have brought all this great evil on this people, so I will bring on them all the good that I have promised them. Fields will be bought in this land, about which you say, it is desolate, without man or animal, and it is given into the hand of the Kistim. Men will buy fields for money, sign the deeds, seal them, and call witnesses in the land of Benjamin, and in the places around Jerusalem, in the cities of Judah, in the cities of the hill country, in the cities of the lowlands, in the cities of the south. For I will cause the captivity to be reversed, says Yahweh. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah a second time, while he was still locked up in court, the guard, saying, this is what Yahweh says, who made it, Yahweh who formed it to establish it, Yahweh is his name. Call to me, and I will answer you, and will show you great and mighty things, which you do not know. For this is what Yahweh, the God of Israel, says concerning the houses of the city, concerning the houses of the kings of Judah, which were broken down to make a defense against the mounds and against the sword, while men came to fight with the Casdim, and will fill them with dead bodies of men, whom I have killed in my anger and in my wrath. And for all those wickedness I have hidden my face from the city. Behold, I will bring it health and cure. I will cure them, and I will reveal to them abundance of peace and truth. I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them, as at the first. I will cleanse them from all their iniquity by which they have sinned against me. I will pardon all their iniquity by which they have sinned against me, and by which they have transgressed against me. This city will be for me a name joy, for peace, glory, before all the nations of the earth, which will hear all the good that I do to them, and will fear and tremble for all the good and for all the peace that I provide to it. This is what Yahweh says. Yet again, there will be heard in this place about which you say, it is a waste, without man and without animal, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. There are desolate, without man and without inhabitant and without animal. The voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of those who say, give thanks to Adonai Svaot, for Yahweh is good, for his loving kindness endures forever. They will bring thank offerings into the house of Yahweh, for I will cause the captivity of the land to be reversed as at the first, says Yahweh. This is what Adonai Svaot says. Yet again, there will be in this place, which is waste, without man and without animal, and in all its cities, a habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down, in the cities of the hill country, in the cities of the lowlands, in the cities of the south, in the land of Benjamin, in the places around Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah. The flocks will again pass under the hands of him who counts them, says Yahweh. Behold, the days are coming, says Yahweh, that I will perform that good work which I have spoken concerning the house of Israel, and concerning the house of Judah. In those days and at that time I will cause a branch of righteousness to grow up to David. He will execute justice and righteousness in the land. In those days Judah will be saved in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem will dwell safely in the name in which she will be called, Yahweh, our righteousness. This is what Yahweh says. David will never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel, and the Levitical Kohanim will never lack a man before me to offer burnt offerings, to burn grain offerings, and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, this is what Yahweh says. If you can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, so that there may not be day or night in their time, then may my covenant also be broken with David and my servant, that he may not have a son to reign on his throne, and with the Levites, the Kohanim, my ministers, as the host of heaven cannot be counted, and the sand of the sea cannot be counted, and the sand of the sea cannot be measured, so I will multiply the offspring of David, my servant, and the Levites who minister to me. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, Do not consider what this people has spoken, saying, Has Yahweh cast off 2 families, which he choose? Thus they despise my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. This is what Yahweh says: If my covenant of day and night fails, if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then I will also cast away the offspring of Jacob and of the David my servant, so that I will not take of his offspring to rulers of the offspring of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to be reversed, and will have mercy on them.